Abiel. I got so much.
Okay.
Brother Con Nguyen, I took
Mm.
good midnight to do with him. So, not so very. We share video, we quite die here and share one can start sharing video to the Matthew. Matthew. And we video share forum kan ke yang Padang ke ban work to ke ban kaman dengan forum ke work ke Padang to ke gro ya ke share pin kan ini sih kita kan lam kita baik ke ada WhatsApp atau Facebook Messenger whatever. we keep a more than called the young Padang maybe. Keep more. Right, Daniel, the way we turn to into we see there was not we can download, please. You can them by. Detective. And the bar video cranking messenger than young Padang. And the back rank yok to message to you. I didn't want to talk. I didn't. Of course, so that open the unit and of course, you know. So,
I did it.
okay.
I can foot.
Okay. There's a problem. That's why.
Job yet?
Yeah. I get up and meeting. Okay. Yeah, good.
Yana piat infungen Benson.
Go ahead.
Piat Yang Padang Jukamot. Good morning, good afternoon, quite to Juba, quite of Australia, quite to good night here in North America. Wek Chukeng Mod, what the Kyang Ke Godia. Ngakin and Pialogop, can be walked taban, can a Mahema pay, and a car in a bag do shit in Kaikon, the Jing of Padang die. Kaja kek dai jeng Padang quite of Sudan bezat. It's morning fi Malakal, fi Juba, fi Baliet, Koga, quite to PG, quite to Orang, quite to long the Pariang. We took a more to the Jeng Padang. Taban wek dai wek bai, I'm con jamantong Jeng Katwing, and then our job Gam Banyusan Bal could be jelly to the yen. Wek dai Kachiro in one killer. Wok taban quite of Upper Nile, quite jo wok lui kalu taba bezat kawan tiro long da SPLMIO chena ya kachi tek diak takriban de ka dur tut de ka Simon Garwich Johnson Olin and then ka Dr. Yek Machar kana taban na chi wok die ko ka jeng Padang ko bu wok lek no wek bagdel baganyindel lep ko de dai ka kai kede pan Upper taban gala de ka chiro loy ka jeng Padang all the time ya victim colored ko chu ko no be bang be bong ba mat pin ko kwike ngo chiro loy a chan kren bi wogo no na de tools ka lo use ka social media man jam wo kana ka pet message bi ala tin ko wok bag de la ngi wok taban wok we are not concerned about the internal differences ka spele mayo but ko wo mo tanin ka Padang to fi Upper Nile State abu ki bago nyin lep bu mo tanin ko big dil ngi juno chada chi bi to chada ter wa no ka ngut chat de ka bro de loitin chande ka bro loy taban en wok ben lek ba wo concern especially and chid Johnson Olen jiman chi taw Simon Garwe chena taw chok en deputy bitaw ken kay wo yang iran ben kay wo wade pin de la chi Padang ci jot kenen wok jamano ba ko nyindel ye beran ken ko bagdil daay pet yen bañ wëssen jo kan be jaman den Majaba Ben.
Apia the red when you be in Chuka Mouth red, which I come out with quite die quick. Yen Malay sorry, I think video clip, Kakato, video Kage, because of Kajalu Biden, I can wear can win a wear the studio. Bial internet de chimaluma chimolo sarke gol impeng mush
Impianga.
okay fayin adi chika download ko bigger play through studio but because of the technical or because of the job problem in a kinuki download but ade video clip baga nyuwa the video jitena baga nyuwa the cell phone is mat I think they are working on it achanin bila kai ni mene ke jemi kerengo ko ngoya concern ko we ko Padang ko to in that area fa yin ka cire loy wana kol wala wana ko dun ku aya kol da won ko wana kol den wana kol dun ku wana ko dun we ko ke Africa ka juje cigro loy baden ke pani nyalwa ko to den to bana deg nim ko jam ke on the ground directly ko ka man ka kene yuko tabo ko ayuko nom ke ka wone very serious yen gable bana twen mungkin ba 2 or 3 video clip different baga to chak be 3 to krang minute bas kan bungi jit no jemotin yen kana banya bialan tibugo jam yam video kaka baga ko na chak yok will go ahead can book a play matene cell phone but we will piang na ina ko lero
yanju batio dia tinga yene riang machar nyu na no doran ya chwa gar we dol khele yandia yanju fan ga ya tinga yene riang machar chelle no mal al
I bear with us, Jama, adek video call ku sorry for that issue, but we will come to you guys.
machar omjar ajam ya da bital chairman commander in chief Simon Garway go tayaner ke shur gwan ka yi
Okay, yeah, let the video but you very recently, like 14 minutes ago. The background and it's all mad the jam and teen tabaran can you know the num connection to quite on the mechanics. Fayin video can play is like about 9 minutes. At the current situation in talk at Chinaman to in a backping. A jam to no lakina ba Luther Jamuba then the Kenan Gram. The Kenan Gary to Arab.
you know welcome to Manuel dia humon kele and I go ku right chainer yene to pensa ba wala dia ala tayente
Well, which I come out banner and tell I get talk.
and malcolm
You whip your goober there.
ana de linga to nas
We call it Pungatung Nas.
Arabic
With the Arab.
to nas Arabic meta
No jam to no with the Arab.
rasa sabalio nas riyak mashar
I got will Arab in Turjum Tan,
omjar
Arab Sakai.
ajam ya da bital chairman commander in chief
They amul tam up to young yin, you quite open.
umawal ja betori utasuk wal badal wujum amini da nas jej fitar olen garway dol mamul self defense mamul self defense wa toradum musabu ibaba bitaw abu jizir bitaw wa zuk alfiya tacha masabu والهم طردوا هذا اللاين جيش أيوم وراهم. They're going to follow them until where they are. That is what happened this morning in Maganis, headquarters of IO Chairman, Commander-in-Chief Simon Garwelder and Olin Sambo. Yawal Kalam al-Asal Sabal Yom Umlisa Asa Gadin Waraum ونشوفه بعدين البياسر في اليوم أو في أخبار تاني واسم هم جارين جر والفقد تبابه والذوق في التاتشة وأسانا من وقف في مالدا فنشوف الأخبار جاي enjana akatong nas ongani dinas akamichi to awaru
akichira loy wona miak
akan chiga benche meja la yetia
ai chigan ke ko ke
ka kira na gore dan
okay
kan ka ganga ke kana ka ngi ne panjala ti kam di
atit ke nyin wa na jala bu chira taw kam chi bukyo
raje chala tia
ke chung wel wa
chala tia kalam wa
kana ya wa
rama ta gwanyu da rama ta gwanyu da
chi jala ba leke ga yinga bi ni tude ko yinga ke
ga jalo
a chi ga ko ke
ne ke
ja ko ke
ya da yi ma cha kam
ne chol yab da yi en chi yab ba ke in a sector command
division 1 ba na wa ko yi ba yu ko wi da
ko chapter 1 ko bi ko ben ke ne
mi bai ni jana long
ke chira loy wona mi
kan ben chi kana ba yan ma
chi ben ko mo joko
me ji kan ma yo
won chi ko ma mo
ji chira ro da palia
a chira ndera pal tuo
da chira palia ni ko mi ya tuo
chira de pal tuo di chi tongro loy
men cha go yo shu ko yo ba ka cha kwa ke ni ali ko ni ona
ke chi ben mu joko ko chi ben kat ka ke ne chi ka dam
ke ni ko ya da ba bu
ni la chi da ba bu ji dire chi dam
tacha ta duwe da
tacha te de zu ko chi dam
na ko re wali ni ko re na da ko re
man ti le chu bu ke ko re chol ko ji ri ko da taw ke
kan mi na ban da to ba ka ti
kan ke ga bu ka ben mu ke ga la dum di ga dil chop te bi ga ti
wala wa ka re ra pal dai wala wa kana wa ma ko wa ga ke
ko le bu ka chop
ka bin ya na mun ma ga
wa chi ga bin yin le wuru ten ko ni ga choko gut cheman
wa ro kana lo wa kana wa ga wala
na le ke ga da la ko le
ya la ro ko
en ya le jëm bi elwel
zugu kula mun ne kane kana ba inte da baba bu jiziran kai kara mu kula ta kai
a zug da ne ngat ki ko yiri ga cin yang pin ko ja da babu to
ti go do ke ke na ta
a ci ga dom ke ko yiri chol ko je gar wi dwal
a jan kon tan ya la yi ko da na kon wo
ne ti ni la wuci de no ko war na ki ne ci ran da elwel ngak ni ti de ni ne ko
da ku ya ke me jala ya ti ya
man wa ten kan la wi ko an ten
te ku go
a ci japyat
ya jen ya ga wai do
ya biya yen riek ya biya gar wi dwal
ya jen ya ga wai do this time mu ce da wuya
ya biya riek ya biya gar wi dwal da man kan de ka dang mo ji kan
ya bata ni da wai do tin a jan tawa da kana to
aywa pa ne chol maganes ele be gar wi dwal tawtin ya ke ka ko riek
ya ga wai do ko tin kana wolo
ya be gar wi dwal bi retin ke ule maganes
waru no ga mola
e man dia mo man tin saba la mi
gar we dol tin kare
la din bran tok dung
yana da ana beto
ya biya gar wi jol ko le
sai me ka la ya ti ya
men wan tin kan le wi
ya me lu ga kan ka ya me lu
a ti ga join ko ken ga le wi jan
na ba ko yen
man tin le tuk ti ko da taw ko
ko ban ke bina di ta ko yen
la din bu ka taw ga tuk ga dil tuk ko yir chol ko yir yekti bi ga tin
ya na ba na daga mal ya
ne ko ta ba le wi
o shabu to ka
e bi taw mal
ba o ko kon ya dem
wi e na bu ta ba ban ra ne chol de
ka ta ba o
ya yin
ko na bi ali
ko bu be de
ko ku mo ba na sho mo mo je ne kitwo
ne ko lo ra ga ken wo ko jitin ne ko tira lo ga man sabadu na afrika tan na chobu ke no no wen ke ko ke ko ke gar wi a ti ke chop ko ka ke ti ka dom ban ka ko boy yin wo ja ka ka tong ke ka ti man ti dong ka chin gwaringi ran brer ko le ke chin nam chok ke na ko ben ka ka ke abra
ba ye wala lo
abri ya ga ko la ret
ba jale ko mi shi ran ma ka ce yi
ko ya na tong chi yin lu ha jam ko le ben chok ka ke chi ke pya
jen bu ku chok
e na bin
mi ki ri ga ba yi chok
na kan ka da pyat ki yin bu bi do e ki chira kana
a jara ba ku tin kwane je polo a jen cham ke liu
e ni kana ko bu lu ta ba ko le ban wodi
anya
e ni ko le ra
ko ta ke la kon wan di
ya le ga to ga week to taw tin ban
wa to da ga
e ni kana na de ko bu ko be pin to ko da man tin ba ben ke bro lo
ba na sho ngwa
e na ga ken wo bu ko ji ke we ta le wodi ba abenya bialim pengen mu
in piang
okay ran kina jam 14 minutes ago, which is 20 minutes ago. We giang dan we pung. Taban giang biya kay lwe long we koy ka padang kay lui consent. Ki yo consent tong a koy ke tong ben pek titok. Ye ka chak ping tong a chira lui no na myaken whether bi ja lwit wala yit. We koy taw Sudan we ka bi ja verify. Kene e koy ke ran e report bita the side bita gar withdrawal. Ina ran man tin jam. But koy ke riek bi ben bi ba de malumat ken o ye ka won chi mo chu look to got abiela le ba ken highlight rani chola gulek chi luken we koy dai chak ting ki got ya na gulek alwela chi the gulek capture 3 enemy military tanks 15 pkm the other weapon and the war is fought 2 hours ago from Kitgwang, Meganis. So tonga tar 2 hours ago, I believe tonga di Romsa City dun we quite Africa. Amar internet abiali we and mush.
Yeah, in way
Okay, internet acting.
yeah, it's good.
Payen tonga tong tar no namyaga. Which kawana kule chuka be nyudwi. Fayen kana ayo ko we ke padang wo ko bere concern. Taban jinubi na chige jogara bengich. Wo ga kirente kuyi umantin pinya chitiang ukira chitiang ayena kabukok take it dry season ngaga dia entertainment could be mushkila ben loy pa yen tonga chakping tonga chito ko ja yo ko to rang ayo kun kin daga dang pingi chen get ke katiok ko to mo lut ke dang bu pingi lakin ko to jal hak kaman achan yen pa ni chol kit gwang ken to gusat bita jal hak degen ko ngi je area ken jal hak to be no lut ke garang fi East Bank lakini kirkwang aja taw fi West Bank pa ni siluk taban pa yen ko we mit ko padang bu ko consent ko chugwel wana ken de lera loye brato ata malakal jengdan en taw me danam fi dakal malakal jeng ken be itek be ko yek ko be ko ke gar wijwal ko be ko irani chol dwal tut fa we ko taw malakal dai ke nyina pet malumat ka lu ke men wana kol ja ku je yik wala luet we enti en we ka ke ben rod ka ye liap ale ka bur ben gur ko gu ek luela riya ka chul ko de jej be tarika betarang jeng de ci da rang wan ken wokin jubu no na karang jan buk verify el kene yik wala ngo taban ki ga karang gol ci mena tong man tine we ko ci pung tung nuer mikela bin mena mikela yir yek gar wijwal lakin ko je to ping mikela ayela luela mikela de jeng ibn do mikela ci ku loy again driek lakin ti layini chowkeni aba yo ko luela le jeng na sabu fa wo ken ko we ko padang a ci ko bi wo ga mampin yena bi wo bi jino na wakawde de wo ku bi we ben lekka loyrut malumat al ame ka faraj non tina charana man tin won jam jam direct ki gar wijwal fi de dakal maganes era ta Australia wada gran tong taw fi America ten ko ge ay jam direct fa ke malumat kin a cigle biya 100% lakin e malumat go e jam ke ko ki topin fa we ko ki na mabana ko bang yin daitin dakal malakal tawana ko bang yin daisin yelwela de genyi riek ci bay fi rang ke kene masik lotte de mahafas bitarang ko ji a deputy governor won taw ke ra ne recola ne SPLM man dan tormoñ buñ aja kuj ne ya were ka loy rut ka we ko ba wo update a can book accurate information in loy rat between yirang ko malakal ko bi wo dil yop ko media ku bu ngi bedap te pek kang nim tina taru ka bitariya can ting riya wela de gende tabana e ka kang pit sometime I don't know gen bila de fi juba wala gen ngej big jot tabana de nim cantonment taw fi Nasser fi Mandeng wa de nim jej fi outside Malakal Kaldagi wala somewhere there medan ali big gen gene jot adenam jej fi Bangak ali big gen gene le big nyaay fa yen mikela kena brata wu jet baden tiang kia pet egluele le jeng na muskila kan wer kër jeng ke wan jalle tok men wan even though ci kegru ka paj mantini way la ko palgi non diyan kër yek manen gar wi dolan ci yek wi ngalap yene ke di wer ci ne ke wer ki man fa yene am sorry gi nu bin won ci pang tong wer abiga mislead ayu aci kër garang aci kër gi nu ayu hizba bitan wer den kor wela de kum de jeng ko bi nyaay ko bi jeng nyaay ñin fi jinu fa ken ko wi ko to wafernal ayu ko bugurut lagit ko bu ko ja fer na de barto wut bor ka jël tong di chen ben ci ko ro de kran baye gi ngi jaranga tan ke bor yi mo lu ke chala long den bi tong den ko na wirten a kan into wan de ma lu mar ka wan mo mo lu e bor taw mo lu ki ga communication loy wuluñ baburi fa we amul sabkum baden dir tier gi ñini ko ernu rek te de ganda mo ben ka lotte de ko wet ki ko wona recol ko gar wi a ci bi ga tek tin big tek fi tri ko ta baliet wala big ben tri ko ta ma ban le ko big ma lut ba redi je ga ben tem le welong ti fa we kene e bere muskila kabir dang taw ga ni me ti ci ga ko je yek chup ke ga ko ben ter wo yol fil a chan bi go yol ben mu e ke dang taw ga ni me gëna fa yen tu ga dai ke tong lok yel wele tong atar long ti ki long ti ko yena ci ben wolom lala ko je ko dai ni na de genyer yek lera rang zadu ka cin dai cin genyer yek bu bi tore ferang chan genyer yek kin liab ke jina kuma genyer yek ko ci bay ma lere long ti lere fi woto kona wala lere kaga bila retin ene te piet tong tinga akin wer ko gur war yak bay achuke wit fiti jabatana haliyan kuma de junub ko kuma penga ko wo our security concern number 1 our security concern number 1 mine ka jika ga ben fa yen o ki dier bigro nokka paj wal ci groupe nok ekden lakin achan ku bigro mat e big ton kalabu tong be ka jeng ku bigrang palbe fa kene e message lot de week monjing kan wek taw fi Malakal fi Rang fi Mulut fi Foloj Jalhak kadten ko Jalhak ay ko ci maj pingi achan Jalhak opposite side of the East Bank ku teter tong tina West Bank fa yene kan ene ka taw tin ga kan fa wek ki bi wok bi miskela bita ayu ache miskela bitaw ke be Upper Nile region na bedung na miskela be chin salam taban ngede ki ko kana di ci nim liya ay nim liya pa bing nim ci ko ci miol mo be ko ci ko ci miol asili fa yene kan tirki apet ko keriyek ale jiga nim wan de na nen tong ba play ba den wan wona kolda waye wona ko ko jil welen tong dara ci wel na me ko wan ko ja te ku wi fa yen yambe video ko be play tene ka wan na kul lakin ko ter man tine video non tine non mi abdun ten in ter tong is now sa saba fi junub ba den tong ke 2 hour ci man won channel wel 2 hour ago ana tong adil romben sa sita sabawan amin min sa 5 6 amin ko ke ni ko ke chop ba yene kan ko ke ko le ke chop big la shumal long den bigatin na ke ka ka wel ga deg ni be den ci gam ke firang ka tak dang bi wetem big ben long darang achan long tui ci biya accept de ke ko go butari ku ci gej ka ci biya magabel ke shiluk ku ya nor ke taw gar wijwal ana go kana abiya go di ret fa ye na lo propaganda ben wanten ko le yin kana taw akuma urane chol ding taw wele kana akuma ne ci jey tuwa ko ngadi ne ban akuma bi jey tuwa ke ku jenya akuma ke jende tamurdina kine liap ku yene ke kay ko wey man tina gal jende ne kine interpret so na deg jenyi en bi jalla bu ngor ga jalla under command bitari ma sha ralwela deg ayo den ngor ko lui command ka tawut ina deg jende en de ku ja tingde ke depend minister lakini man tina kene to lwel nwere le ki te deg jenyi la kuma la ben ka ki rena ci jej bay a cher yeg ma cha ki bi jende ler kra ayo ke bila tor tong ayo akira bitit jenyi kira bitiden titit fa wek with young the Padang who are quite a middle of this crisis. We are back to square one. I will be speaking in English very little bit, but I don't think there is no need English because this information is going to the Dinka who are in the same area of Upper Nile. So we already heard that the guy was spoken early here. They already fought. The lava came yesterday. He told them that you guys cannot fight. Those who are Riek side, please go aside. Those of Garwidwal, go aside. But because we know the behavior of our neighbors, they will not accept, they accept what they see on their eyes. So that was yesterday, but this morning they fought. The Riek group came and attacked Maganis. They want to capture Maganis. And I think the group of Garwidwal fought back according to the guy who just spoken a few minutes ago, that they defeat the Riek group. But it's a one-side history. Riek group are going to come out with the different news later. So this is what is going on. We as a Jiang Padang who are in the middle of this warlord group or warlord ethnic group, we are really on the middle of concern, even though it's not concerning us, but whoever side is defeat later, they may think they will come and do another attack on us. But this was the reason we are trying to update the Jiang Padang from Rang to Malakal or PG. Especially now the coin would get long data ko bang yin ti de peta chan yin ulin angur ga nam jej bai ten ku yi na chal wel wana kan nam liap wel tunu pandang ching pandang nok ku riak ye jing wel riak de ko ji limit ke we ko wan chi ga bai nyu chi ka Padang wa yang bre chu ka yok we ko ba we mare ya baga pandun wane chiran nguji kali kidong tin baga chobwe kunyi ka pandun telena ka brachut fa yene kan ene ko loira ka ken but wo ke concern di lano lakin wo concern kita wo middle of cake silu kita long to cake but all in all taga ko jall bay akin ran ko gu fi dakal rang akiran be ko dakal mulut akiran ko gu fi akoka wala baliet ko won be malumat gam akan tong den ayik telephone ben loy baden wo ke de ko wel ba yene ken ene kika ba martin ga benya biali ma ye pursa o yam ko jiten bi bio baram ban video ko be play ayin chale
yana pet Ben Wilson ku jaba koy dai koy ke jinga padang especially quite of Sudan. We encourage you to share the video. This is a fresh information and it's a very security concern into long run by the tea. Cái cả bà luyện tập bản cái tiền là khang chơi cái gì đó jam mana kana chi atong tập bản the internal differences within SPLMIO which resulted into the defection of Simon Garwich, declaring himself as the new chairman, commander in chief of SPLMIO, deputized by Johnson Olin. We Jing Padang, we are very concerned. We are very concerned for the fact that we have no issue with what is happening within SPLMIO. SPLM Daban, they can have their own differences as a SPLM as a party or military wing. But what we are concerned is what will come out of these differences. We have already seen now that they have already fought among themselves, and the objective of this group, led by Simon Garwidwell, Jiang Padang has no problem with the man like Simon Garwidwell. But we have a very big concern with the man that he actually put as his deputy, Johnson Olin. Johnson Olin is now a deputy of Simon Garwidwell. Johnson Olin is a man that is not fighting for the reform in the government of South Sudan. Johnson Olin is fighting for the issue of the land, that Jiang Padang has actually taken their land, and therefore he needs to use the force to take the land back from Jiang Padang. Now, this is the time Jiang Padang has to open the eye. We've been vocal about this man for so long. As long as Simon Garwich continue to align himself with the person like Johnson Olin, we will not be in position to support a faction that has aligned themselves with the man that is actually having his own motive and agenda. The agenda of Johnson Olin is known. It's known to all the people of South Sudan. He's a man that actually fighting, specifically the tribe that he doesn't like, and his objective is built on that one. He has brainwashed thousands of his tribesmen that you have to fight for your land, that you have to go to cross the river to the west, the east bank of the Nile, and your land has been taken by Jiang Padang, especially in PG, Malakal, Akoga. Those are the areas that Johnson Olin believe that those areas are belong to Shilluk. But I think it's time for Jiang Padang to wake up. Jiang Padang did not put the issue in the mind all this time that we have to defend ourselves. This is a time to defend yourself. This is a time to rally this youth to save and guard your loved one. Because we know what Johnson Olin have done when he captured Malakal. We know what Johnson Olin have done when he was on his way to oil field. He killed innocent Jiang Padang along the way, in Malakal, in Akoga, in Malut, and his intention is to go and destroy these people's life. Therefore, the government is there. But if the government is there, therefore we have to also urge our people that open your eye and be in defense in case Johnson Olin and his Agulek armed forces, that's tribal militias, that was actually founded in the basics that your enemy is Jiang Padang. eti bawo nyin jol lebe ko ko tong kana che tong pan tok tok rana chol Johnson len kina che ran tar biag ran tok a chi tar no yana tar ke pa wen wala tar ke ngok wala tar ke dong jol a tar ke ni chol jeng Padang a shan ke de jeng Padang to ten ti malakal ko to fi Upper Nile tong bo kana a che tong bo ke pyelik ka wi bag dai ba ko nyin lep wek taban bi a chukule la ko lo hajam lakin ter ko bagro del tit ko banga jino tong bo kana ke to ko nim all this time a che ko ke salam assassin especially Johnson len chiran salam chi ko kunai tongen bi ko le ben taw jeng Padang tin ke jeng Padang bro del tit bagro tit ken ko legwe ter ko na big thor ga pa ga SPLMIO e ke den ken brawo chi taw tin lakin tong den ko to kam den ga pa ka big ben taw tin na le ka man de ke den ko big thio ken chol jas ke jas ta pa no ma ja taw monate ke jeng Padang e a chi bit thio di ke chi moton Padang e chi nak a chi buraj ba den ke chi jeng Padang moton Padang e chi bula wogo en wok jamne tong kana ko bagro del tit wok ka jeng Padang taban ko salam wok ka je salam ken ko wok ka iran ko bi salam ken bi na faso ten salam ken it have to be implemented then ma chien god wara ge e kam ran chol dr ring machar ke ge salpa kir ma yadit na dara na jamle ko salam ko salam ko yo ke chi de kai we na kai we men bad ma chi falman chi lo is warning ke chi dong ken chol security arrangement the graduation of the unified forces e ke de tit lakin da na ko bi junub sudan bi dang nam fi square one you kai be a victim kai ko wok jeng Padang be a victim we are victim mashakil internal crisis ga SPLMIO we are victim to leke jama den taban ko big thora kuma na junub Sudan won ko big thora lan ko nim taban le junub Sudan akuma kana akum da jeng agala ke le ben jeng la tawtin jeng no we jeng no ya victim mosele jeng to pa na ya victim ke ko bug lege ga ki kana tet kerot le ko nyin yana choben bag ban legwe no joso no len jiran taw choke deputy taw kana wo concern bi hagdan kana because the cheriok mana ci der yel ko alla bi de ka den bi delloy ka wok taban pa na junub Sudan a ce pa na ran lek pa na rati de to kuma da junub bi lo da bi loy mo tani Padang bag del dai nyin karo ko to malakal ko to baliet ko to kogo ko to PG una tar bizat jai kor plus ko to long the rang malut ku ja ko to long the pariang yani pariang mana kaman ataw fi khatar lana yen taban ko to kur ma jusmun pariang kana da tangalo loy baden abu del taw ko ko motonin ko ta pariang kaman abi ga taw mishilay ke we ka ba lagwe le ko nyin ko bag da piet ko to ko ga tong ko ga salam ko bu salam kana bu na fasa ko junub Sudan bi dog chiang wa na ko dog tin lakin adara antong ko ji rawonan ci ko kana akwa del wel na ci ko kana man ci ran dang lom biag dun ko ko wan ko wel kan wan lo social media kan be zat eno bu junub Sudan ko bu lek kan ngom mokti be ran kana moti be ran ci jasso lo ngene e tok ba ci ndang fay ye ka ko ken godin la dum malaka bi del dom real bi dom ko bi del dom te bi dom wo taw no tok kana kan taw nim getong man chawle ko salam ko ayok le Padang nenen gam ken tong a ci piet biag tu lo gam aden wo del thor a ci piet lakin wo ko ga tong ko salam ben yusen ken ka ba martin wo bu ko video ko jobe page
yeah
the most important thing a message ko bu le ka ko wo bu le ka kum da junub Sudan yin a time to protect the innocent civilian as well ko ja property to government especially the resources get out and the objective of this group it is known you have seen until ya idenga jaga jam na kum da junub Sudan ko na real ran ci de Stephen Roll boy ran nyang a ci jal wan mo lonko lele lo alliance ke gran chal samen gad wich ko bi junub Sudan big kuma jinu big baby real. These elements that does not want stability in Junub Sudan, the own objective is to fight, that they are fighting for the reform, with the exception of one man that is fighting for the tribal agenda, which is Johnson Ulling. Johnson Ulling Daban is something known, but the message also the Sudan, because the government of Sudan has to be very careful. You cannot continue to have the rebels that are actually having their own motive, to destabilize the country, the sovereign country like South Sudan. It is a time for this bilateral relationship to be revisited, because Sudan is actually in a better position as we talk. They can use the leverage that they have. Then McGuinness is in tight corner. It's a very different thing. There was most of the area some side of the SPLMIO. But where McGuinness is, Sudan, if the government of Sudan want to see South Sudan in a peace, then they should not support this renegade general. They have to be told either to move from McGuinness and the government of President Kiir and those who, the peace partners that won't implement this peace agreement, has to work together. And also the work of the parliament. The parliament has to actually, issue a very strong, give President Kiir and the first vice president and these 5 deputies, a green light, whether they go to fight these generals or they have to go for peace. Now they need people to go back for the square one to negotiate the peace agreement. The peace agreement that have been negotiated is people are implementing the peace agreement, and you have seen the setback. These are the speed spoilers. These are people that are started for blood of innocent South Sudanese, and I think the government has to do something about it. Mr. Kinan Kabalwel in Chile.
Again, there is one of our brother. I think you are from Equatoria with the name called Patunito Longo. My friend, if you are a supporter of the Shuluk about the land that you are talking, Padang took a land and all this nonsense, you need to be watching out. You don't even know geographical of Upper Nile. So if you have Equatoria, something going on, like you say you want to kick Dinka out of Equatoria, Dinka know the planning. The only Dinka that does not know what you guys doing, it is the Nusmakana Zema Kolbugul. Like in Dinka asili Arab fishing going on. We know that you failed to fight the government of Salva Kiir, and now you try to go around and come and fight the Dinka as a tribe. This thing is not going nowhere. Sorry if you don't see me, because I see my internet has got problem. That's why you see my picture sometimes cruising and moving around. I am going to play the other side of Riek Machar guy last night. It was afternoon from our time here. It was night time yesterday from them there. So I'm going to play the part. This war that been fought in Upper Nile, the west bank of the Shiluk, ya Jama, ya Jinubina, Shan, best people does not tell the truth. Shiluk, we have been crying, they are being displaced. But this war of today that they are talking about it, the majority of the Shiluk who were in Meganis, they are not there as we speak, because Nuer have no family over there. There were a bunch of Nuer young men as an SPLMIO when they were under Riek. But the area that fighting is going on now is the Shiluk area. A lot of people are already ran to Kosi as we speak. The Shuluk population, they are not going to be there for sure, 100%, because this war, a supporter of Riek Machar thinking that Shuluk are the problem, who influence Garwidwal, because Garwidwal has got married 3. Okay. This guy from Ryukmacha is just like 30 minutes ago. That's what I said before. This guy is in Khartoum, so we will hear from him. This is the guy, reporter of Ryukmacha in Khartoum. I took like we gal chica chop jalap. You will get chica garwit chica chop. I think that I would you like you defend. I chick ben go go no chup. Tong di red. Cuman jamu mantine. General chol yai da yen. Are pa na garwit mantine pi meganes. Are in Montini pi meganes. Era ni chol general chol garia. Alu la chick meganes dom. Etong ko geri gen. Mantin jamu gal wuk to meganes. Anai chil wele tung de wan jaman wan chil wele ngere yan cha nyagat. Manai chil wele ke ran ko bi mushkil loy. Apa ne warere tin mantina chuk dom karere general in bi tong chol ngadi na baye. Fidakal meganes. We ko ci gad ben. Mar wi ja pet. Na ni chol yada yem ci ngi. Halwe la yi garwi de digri ka bi gira. Na chak man moji ci man taw man moji ka ci miskila. Ke abu ka chobi chumra ka danga bu ge Darfur. Tong kene tong target tong religion no religion de rani chol garwi jwal. Malija de ci garwi jwal ga mahati. Ke ay chol ko wel kere tong. Ci man ci ge ja gol tara ko le ni tong. Man ci ñut ki ka ci tin ga ñi. Man ci miskela to. Aman chiga tinga nyin ken ran ken kan de rodi panda mane tuochin biok ran chola askari chin ge yelwen askari chin lui chupio lwele se du chin den agal mantin yemen jende rieka to maganes kere SPLMIO biba den riek ajin nyagat beto vidakal maganes na e berget dang kene jaddi dina jego kuchal wala ci ko dikar wiccu gal ke ga togu maganes ga gaide jej da do her pan gar wujwal wane ci gar wujwal ana malwal biete ne nyura dul wurmi chal ga jonto no luñ ara ndanga chol malwal gier are panu luñ general ya ara ne riek wurmi chal ke yada yem ku yada yem are tri gar wujwal nam mantin jemo to wane gar wicco tin bi maganes akin gi kor gu kati wayne to akar wayne ko nin telekan kana ayene kilwer gu ga ken ta yor ke ko kiciri ne pen ka ken idin ko ya yor ken ko ka ken kur ken ko yuan ki loy mikela ci loy ko yette ko jatam ko jiran ka binu kur mu binal wo yen wona ne bi kur ka bay na jan batong ba kap ko ba yen ko bi ben cuk bi la cuk maskar wona yen maskar di ya mikela di ko ko bay no nyo doy ko bay la cuk ko bay la ko bay la cuk maskar dang tawintin المهم ran kena jam 30 minutes ago in alwel when ko jeri ka big ben bi taban is a war propaganda ran bel yi kuran bel bet chu ko bingi ta baga ja karam fayen kilo ira ga ken a chakting ran ken arer khortum ran ne chol wonti ne chol karam Rachel Nazi International Radio Katu chol ngadi no rin ken chika so kilo ira a chakping ke ga terga sasen tongatar lakini ngachi chup yena jego wonyi mantina de video dang ba kor video in chika jamwa te non taban tonga chi wel nam bere ret wel gela bere na mushkila ran ken ba legwi let me video dang ba kor let me video dang ba kor ran chol
طبعا the objective of playing those videos is especially those who are verified is for your awareness. Those in Malakal, those in Rang, those in Malut, those in Koga, and in Baliet, and in PG, and Pariang. This is for your awareness that you have to stand guard in defense of yourself and your loved one. And also to the government of South Sudan, you have a constitutional mandate to protect the innocent civilian, because this war, as we speak, it will spread like a wildfire, and the most people that will be affected, that will be a victim, is mostly Upper Nile State.
Bakping taban ewuna ko dini ne lo ken rap alo edit lakini ba jamit era ne riega kan to hortum aba jamit mat taban jam ke ran ne tuwan aye lela wo war pan to nyuti ne kiran de lela bugjal bugla bi bu man jeng ko la bi akar bugja go ngi eteno yene ci gure nam ti ay kin ge bi de lela ci wel wa ci wel gal ke a ci ru deñ man ring ke a ci ke bele lero ben lo ne ro ci ben ko ne ene ko lo gu ken mu group ci deg di pe ci ndan wan bitari ko ci ke di ci ta de lewe rogan wer bana bagatin ene tiom dun weg ber ci den ko tin man de koy ring man wona miak lar man wor ga ring weji ga gamar ba 20 sa minute to bas abang ginu ko ja taw gi tension alwela ye bora chigro tiana mandini ake ketong tong aja tong tidare tidare ayo bibo ai na chin ngin ki cho reservation ranji nizam lui kalbu ko cho la de CNC alwela de saba CNC kiri kore ko chika fashion itega una
attention mission chawai me yala yene dia jaje kwa share ba yuwa mo ai wo pure dia mai wo yiri ve je shiye ve je bor je bor no je inchar min diri to na ye twa ne dia la to tam bila wo chu na ngi wo chu na ngi
This is the side with our young Machar reporters. And we'll let them
wala ba ja tem ko
and we will get I can give you a lawyer. We'll let the chin with the Alpalin. Kero Kikang, Abelaki. Young Jam can appear. How will you do? I can't understand. You will let the Gikan who can support. I didn't know that Jatao didn't talk. I didn't talk. Kanyai. The Kogi bigger pea, Latin big Jalaban. And where I can start away, Mantin and Marnit Ganu. But you can Nazamu. No, my moody and my bitchin a car. What would you need? The day now, little bit, the mechanic, a jam will attack. Didn't want. Galche, the chichilu, the chicaberry, a little book them. I will make a chick do what you and Machica. Anyway, we are not here. What we are trying to tell to our people that, this is serious. They already fight this morning in African time, 3 hours ago. And we are giving awareness to people from Rang to Malakal up to Attar, up to Baliet in the east. And then from the West Bank, from Wunukur to Pariang, people need to be on alert. A nakar kapach, kuaya yok teletong dena tok, achini dang big gutin. Yene kiko book ben lewe tonight. Keg Mantini, who is saying the truth. Riek Machar side is saying that they defeat people of Garwidwal, and the Garwidwal side reporters, they say that they defeat those who come as a Riek group to attack them. So we don't know who is telling truth. All of them, they may be liar or they may be not. But it's not our concern there. Our concern is to be washed out across the River Nile. Who will across the River Nile? Who will come to the East Bank? This is your job. Inside Malakal, security has to be on alert. Those who are in Rang, security be on alert. Those who are in Mulut, security will be in high alert. And everywhere where there is Jeng Padang. In Pariang, security has to be alert. In Biemnam. Because, Jama, what you don't know, even the Equatoria guy who used to write here, I am sorry you don't listen the Nuer language. If you listen, the IO is not belong to Jinubin, to be honest with you. This is an ethnic party belong to the one ethnic. Because you have been blindfolded, you don't speak the language. This party is goal to defeat the so-called Dinka. Not even a government of South Sudan where there is a two-by president as a Nuer. There were so many ministers of the Nuer. MP were being sworn in last week. There are so many MP come from different tribes. But it's still Jinubin are not telling themselves the truth. They will still call it a Dinka government, where the MP does not come from the Dinka counties. They come all from the different counties. And we know our counties are based on clans or tribe in South Sudan. But this is not what Jinubin are talking. They still call it a government of the Dinka. So this war, for those in Equatorial, have been misled. You don't understand the language. You need translator or interpreter. Go to their show and listen what they are talking about. So Tonight we are just here to do awareness to our people that they already fought. Jalava came yesterday, tried to separate them, but we know our cousin, they don't listen. What they understand is what they see on their eyes. And that being said, Jiang Padang, we used to say anybody allies with the Wulong is the enemy of Jiang Padang. Anybody who is allies with Wulong is enemy of Jiang Padang. Because Wulong rebel because of the Jiang Padang. Wulong is the enemy of Jiang Padang, number one. Period. So if you are allies with him, we will not recognize you as somebody. We will knew that you are enemy of Jiang Padang. Because if you talking about reform and the guy is fighting about claiming the land of Jiang Padang and you come to be allies to fight us, that will be a different case. So in that being said, I know time is getting out here from us. We are not going to talk too much. The Degan Koi Toping, we Koi Torang, Deran Udai, will Koi Malakal. Ayukun Yar Deran Wogat Kuburan, Yup Messenger, Angiku, Network Duna Taban, but Kikorku, Karangachichok a week. For a week, the Degan Koi Torang, Kudai Ki Wok, will a Malakal, will a Mulut, will a Baliet, Degan in internet, will a follow. Ki got a walk, na de ki ping, a ko ba ko ben jwa video lu ke play ben e book lek we ke loyrot e reality a ci lu de kan fa we ko de shinin yingek ko tong ke to ke tin yang ni ni yin to ku dai gi ku re ku wi dai gi ni long de gila jul dai gi ni long de krang long de queer adar dai gi ni long de queer ran ko re dai gi ni tonam wenne kinam min is bang banawu fa we ko de tieni ke ga chika ke ber taban akika bia akika bia loser motanin man jemu motanin ke ni chika ban ko tonga tar mit ke shilu so ke ga ban man akika ka la shumal ko bi dong ko mu dang kuro ke ga dong gar widwal fa yen kan yen ki bu ben la week tonight karang eight ko dalit but te bera tokin yen ko rer malakal ko rer ke mi karang makara karang jiti maskri ko ga bi ga yitek abede ko ga riek abede ko yiwulen wulen ya yugo de na post kan to ke ka agule da kala tar town ko gi de le tong de na dipa de na bikat wala big ben go mo ko wut ko loy go fa yen kan ko ga tien long de wupi the western long wunu ku kan ku ga na ko bag dai tine jan de le ke chop kin big ben lu la le pare pa we dai gi ni ko tarban ayenin banya biel daman ci lo ci say neni la wundana ayin gam pursa na de ga baylwel wo go bu jalu taba way yok message ci la big.
Yes, thank you, Ben Wilson. I post the link in case if there's someone that interested to come to join us for 5-10 minutes. But I just want to make something very clear. You know, we South Sudanese, we are tired of continuous war in our country. And when this peace agreement was signed, I think many of us, especially with the Jiang Padang, we welcome this peace agreement because, you know, we want people of South Sudan, especially in Upper Nile, to go back to normal, to people to enjoy peace, because continuous war for years, it does not benefit anyone. It does not benefit Jiang Padang, does not benefit the Shuluk, does not benefit the Nuer. It does not benefit any citizen of South Sudan, whether from the north, south, from the Equatoria, west, east, Barakazal. It is a destruction of the people's life, the property, and therefore when the parties agreed to sign this peace agreement, even though we thought that it was a bad peace because the large number of the parliament, the 5 vice president of in history, that a small country like South Sudan can have that large government. But because of the love of the peace, I think people of South Sudan have welcomed it and said that we can live with it. If that is what was needed to bring the peace in South Sudan, so so be it. Let us have the large government. Let us have 5 vice presidents. And last week, in the 2nd of August, we witnessed the sworn in of the member of the parliament, 555 plus 150, I think, council of state, or which is 600 or something legislatures in South Sudan. This was brought because of the peace agreement. But was it in benefit of the people of South Sudan? No. Because this alone will drill the resources that we have and will prevent the development that was needed, the service delivery that was needed. But it's better than continue in the path of war. We were in the path of peace agreement. People were peace negotiated, it was signed, and now the process of implementing it. And we said numerous times in this show and in other shows that I've been part of it, that we support this peace because we are tired of war. Now it come another square one. There was a whole out group of some that continue to say that we don't like this peace agreement. People are negotiating with it, the government. And now we have a government of national unity, the revitalized government of national unity that was brought about because of this peace agreement. Why was it the right time for the internal crisis of the SPLMIO, which actually will take people of South Sudan back to zero if it was continued to be like that? Therefore, we will say that those who love peace, if they were actually for peace, witnessing the swearing in of the members of parliament, people are in the process of graduating the unified forces that were trained, that are ready to be graduated by the government of South Sudan. And we have seen, anyone that been watching the news of South Sudan, broadcasting television, the support from the international community that are supporting this, the peace agreement, that all continue to say that South Sudan government is on the right track to implement the peace agreement in letter and in spirit. Now, maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we would have witnessed the graduation of these forces. Imagine now that this graduation of these forces will be delayed because there will be friction. There will be those who are supporting Simon Garwidwal, and there will be those supporting Dr. Machar. This alone will cause another delayment of this peace agreement implementation. But I'm urging the government of South Sudan, I'm urging President Kiir to continue to work with the person that won the peace. As we speak, Dr. Machar is in Juba, and he said that he's willing to implement the peace agreement. Therefore, I don't think President Kiir will make a mistake of relieving Dr. Machar at this critical time. The only way that could, is to forge the alliance, work with him, implement the peace agreement, so that the people of South Sudan will know that President Kiir is serious about bringing peace in the country. And let us look into this, the threat that the current defection within SPLMIO may cause. First of all, it will cause instability in the Greater Upper Nile, instability in Upper Nile region, and instability in the area of Jeng and Padang, because they will be the victim of this internal war within SPLMIO. And we said before, the person like Johnson Ulling, the man who rebelled because of the tribal agenda, the man who has trained thousands of his Agulek armed forces, that your enemy is not the President Kiir government, it's not the President Kiir, as the president of the Republic, but are the people that you've been living with them for centuries, people that you've intermarried with them, people that you have blood relationship with them, people that you accuse that they grabbed your land. These are your enemy. And Johnson Olin continued to have that objective in his mind because, first of all, he was not happy that he was not appointed as the governor of Upper Nile State because of Jing Padang concern. And Jing Padang has a legitimate concern that was raised, and as anyone that continued to ally himself with the man that has his own political, which is a tribal agenda, which does not have a national agenda. He's not fighting for the reform in the government of South Sudan. If Johnson Oleny was fighting for the reform of government of South Sudan, I don't think Jim Padang would have concern with him. We will not have concern with someone that's saying that the system in the government, it doesn't like it, and therefore I took up arms like other people that are actually fighting to reform the government of President Kiir. That is his own way to fight the government. But as a citizen of that Upper Nile State, as a citizen of of Jenga Padang, that now Simon Garwidwell declared himself as the commander-in-chief of the SPLMIO, and he actually appointed Johnson Olin to be his deputy. I don't think whether Simon Garwidwell was aware the motive of Johnson Olin, the objective of Johnson Olin. The objective of SPLMIO was
problem mo lagi di
Adila Kudu. This is the man that he could have not done so. What he could have done, he could have formed his own rebellion, formed his own military council, and maybe leave Johnson Olin as the commander-in-chief of the Agolek forces. So the people of Jing Padang will know actually who is the enemy of Jing Padang. Because Johnson Olin, he want to use SPLMIO forces so that they can fight his war, the war of the tribal agenda, the war of the land between the Shuluk and the Jing Padang, in the cover-up of SPLMIO as a movement. And that is what we disagree, and that's why we will not be able to be in position to support such a movement that have actually aligned himself with the man who took up arms against you. I think I have made my case clear to the people of South Sudan that Johnson Olin continue to be the threat of Jing Padang, and he will use that his current high ranking in a new movement, and he will order the forces of SPLMIO to fight a war in which he knew very well that he will not face, he cannot even face the people of Jing Padang, whether in a court of law, in the issue of the land, because the issue of the land cannot be resolved, because of cannot in the battlefield. If Johnson Olin have a case, let him open a case, in a court of law, so that we can be able to challenge him. But if you think that he can use, this honeymoon between the SPLMIO and Agolek, we know the history. The history will tell us that it will not last longer. They will not last longer. This, the good relationship that they have, the common enemy that they have, Simon Garawich say that I'm fighting because of what happened to the people of Northern Juba, and I need accountability. And he's fighting because President Kiir leadership, and here is a man who's fighting an ethnic tribe. How could you even in your son to put him as your deputy chairman in that case? So he's continuing to be the enemy of Jing Padang, and Jing Padang, this is today, is an awareness for you, whether you are in Malakal, whether you are in Rang, whether you are in Baliet, you are in Akoga, you are in Malut, you are in PG, in Atar, and also in the West Bank, in the Ruweng administrative area, which is Wunkur. You have to be in high alert, because what is happening between the IO will split to this area, and those who will be victim is our people, and that's why we came live today to bring this issue to your attention. I think we have talked enough. We can stop from here and see if there's nobody coming up. I think we send a strong message that Johnson Lynn continue to have his own tribal motive that he want to pursue in a couple of us in IO, new movement. And we are here, will continue to be vocal about this issue so that people of Jeng Padang will be made aware and the government of South Sudan can be also informed. Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. I think we will be bent into conclusion. Kid message dang balag mo jeng ke pung, especially mo jeng kan to gorlong tu mo jeng kan ke bar gazal. Ayo kadek mazar akarang tira loywan ko je ke dek tira be chak kadek revolution tira be gol, which is unfortunately yani brantong to ke former governor part of it. Aya lewe we mo jeng apal european ko det ke loy duari. Te degaran ko kursi de ki a chipen lakin tong yin wey ku wok ke tong ko kurti de ki ko bas para ne ra chola med chulu chimani yi ni na ne chol gran banam de ko nek ra ne chol yi duot taban ko ke lu ke ne fuel ban ake wer ke chulu ya duor ko nto we fi northern bargazal a chike brain watch agenda beta luo na quick routine especially we ko ka will we nim de muskila no cake ku koy kag ayok a big week usually chiman rani chol kwela gur aja ku kag yidwo de ping wol chiki ga ping yes akum de ginu ko bagi lakin a chibigir ke inglabat wala bigir revolutionary a chuku bugam ko ju dai especially wo jeng to fi ala nil e wo ga bena victim you kayak loy we ko ka gur long tu kuna yak ima loy kayak contact ko kan ke toten bigladi bani kiri kin ke piad lui wo ko mantin wo to jak wo dar wo ke benefit de kani lakin ki yo giting a chekriki e ke ko ru yit ko we monja yin ke yo ting mantin we na yo ping we na gat we na lwel fa ko je kani bento libran chidi duot aja quick agenda da yiduot ina daga agenda lwela de tiom chi jengrum fi wow ina ye lwela de tiom chi jengrum fi katoria ina ye lwela de tiom de chi lukirum fi ala nil kaga bena ye ko combine ku luyi ko confuse fa we mit ke jeng we ye lwela ko bu kir ger kire ci ran jey non bi ger kire bu ger inte kabat ku kire ci bu ger nam liab kani ku kero de ru monje akana de mon jeng ke pung tong ko ke reer wo fi ala nil tung de na ci la woni fa ken e message la de we we ko bakrang loy we ko bagda e pet ke loy ra ken ci ko ran ban ci ko ra jeng na ko yu lakin they will use mon jeng ko when ke ditio the ban in order protecting work law you ben force against work ke we mon jeng ni ke mon jeng wan ke ci gata ci ke nok ci pur lakin duor ko ci gat ye ben ko sulta fayen we ko bani ki wala chan bi ki nyaay ki ci bi nyaay nam liab kani ke de ko je chul Q24/7 jang ko de ko jam fi katore jenge I don't think so ayin bu dugror ko wo ko de ko rit bu ko dugro a chan ran jengur ni tong ran jengara ben gamin fayen ene ke chira de jam nyala nin wan e ke lewo mong nim pe juba ku bi ke den loy fi Upper tingi won wan chol boyrol nya a chira man ma long nin wan pe jal na wan len war ken yo ga yi ni chira de man ma long ene nak noe yin darin ci no nok ci nan ci boy kan ci ping man tin ci party de le ci loy yani ci ping wed no ku boy man tin jemo ina de nam ling ke gi gar wijwal ku ja garos mai karang ku ja karang sorry ku ja gar wij Johnson wulun diele yen taw ani chol boy rek le me men tire fi Upper Nile jing Padang firang tuan mungkin jamus ke ye na le ramat ke ko ketong ye na ngi pin yen le bitikatik loy tikatik biga jat biga yemoji wala bi jadom kene ekle yen te de krang mantin so ekle yen te de wonti te de le di gar wijwal fa kene abil batar wo ko dai few tapping wo ko pungtong shuluk wo ko pungtong no bergut angi ko be da pungul fa yini man da ne chol dang wal ayok welkun welke he does not want election, he want to be ayok ren kon kag taban ren chokarin lat ne merin ge jeng ko yene ke chuo goy men da do ko chol jur chol kon ke karang be chirin ren ge jeng ban ke chawor chak ko taw fi awil ba we men wo chuo ga compute wo jeng to wala ni churan wo yo ke chol ding wala chol malwal ayo yen ting ayo ga chio mele men jeng lakin tarawin a ko chike be born again by lemakol chike ki ga ya chol luo fa we lu ke monitor pet ko kon bag mislead a ko to we ten fa yen kene e message yen ka ba luel all in all concern da ko we jeng to gor long de alenil wo ko bere concern wo ayok la ko ka kuma bin nyinda e pet wo de nim ko bitong tor taw ki fire ki kor ku bas e bu mi je kan ka bu ko ti yen pan kene min daman kam min daman turki min daman madi min daman whatever kwarka kinga kon jalten kuten ene headline kranga ene headline a heartland bita dinga kindi jeli jeng tin jenga bulang shumal fa yen kene e message let the way ko ko Padang ko pinda chidit ko nade ke bera loy mi ko buke ga update ko mi ko mon jeng ke taw barata ne we ya ga yok we ke de pal ko pinda mat ko dai akuma taw jinu ko begeer ti ko yoro pal pin ay akirane be lele le jeng de muskila ka kuma begeer lakini man tawrana ban ge jeng 24/7 en jelo ena tawut wena sigara ma 24/7 I don't think dia jeng pinam jeng yoko mantine no bi wo ko yo ga era no gun nyirtang ayo we chiki chu we wo ga jam wo chika riajien but te lo we respond abra jaret wo ko man kini jalaba be taw cho kwanter ka jaga riyo ta man garang 91 e kilo ya kana betari riyo ko ngabji no ko kayro pal ko yumi ko wela kan ko felen ina churo bento lad bi bayo a chu bayo ko man tina an bana chia jealous ko wan taw ke malija ko wan taw ke jenyarap ko wan taw ke bor sidik ko wan taw jol ngodi ni depend post ngadi ni katora depend post ku sim nga ke ke bana muskila wo yede man tina wa chi mon jeng ko chi ga tin ko di chwa ba chi ga tin yani ko tur taw tin chu ga tin ba de ne jindi bo katin ya taw woni akin jeng taw Ethiopia akin jeng taw Uganda akin jeng taw Congo akin jeng taw Central Africa akin jeng taw Uganda but gabel de ke taw di ni ban ade nin gabel ken man nuer ku de de relik gabel bi mede Ethiopia yande nuer ta Ethiopia lakin wo bugla no akin de lowotin ay chumal Sudan ci wo belaga because the wuga ye men outspoken ku men hardline tartong jalaba bi salam dilga aya lula pal ko penya piat ko daay ki kilo yoro man tin ace bañi kir ko bas na chaga pung tok yak ka chol ko bi kala dadi we kala yoro ay malaj opportunity ba message ba lek mo njeng ke taw ko ade ga suwar ba ga nyud we taban ko ga yik piti kan aret chak den ke pawada pan nyan to akwa chak aret lakin takin ran chire ke gene le biga de lakin de koken yi suwar lul wana tuwar yik pit ken sura ba nyuwa kana ko na bag jatin la internet kan chiro lo sham
mujina to link da ban tem na
link de karam
Facebook
Facebook ko na ba ja to ji ni messenger ne ja ku ko chiro ba zakar kene the title Nuer and Chiluk are fighting the film Maganis kene really alibia sungu Maganis suku kan wood ka chika mar fulaya en sura ka ken ko chika na marabi nyal so ko je kun arabi sura saban on tino won ayok sura kene alibi goba yit de sura danga da baba chiktu da baba woni lwela chikdam alibi awol da baba wala bi an yow da baba taban ke ga koy piteret la yegla nyua tene chaka da baba len le yok fi Nigeria alibi ko bay ku lui ko koy confuse but we can tell kene sura de da baba kan chira anto woni la nan cheto ga kanele da bam ci dam ga kan so we don't know he yellow routine ke yi chu ngich ke ga chak ke ga truat en cherewo ke ga talar sena 91 la 92
yeah
fa kek yit ke na chak ke ga dam ken yene ka ba la we tong yen tarman tin ata gadman jirani chol gar wijwal ken gadman tin hayel le mikela bita denga achi ga nya ke ranji nglab lo ko yene ko wan yel tong English what come around go around. My child been doing coup after coup. Now his own tribe men are being doing coup against him. And that's why some of us are saying that the style of the coup to change the government, seeing the South Sudanese have become very useless people who will adopt something that they did not study, it will be worse. So let's try to have an election that we can elect a president, not by coup. Because if we deal by coup, it will be like a rebellion style that we are doing now. I want to rebel because I was not given a high rank. I have to go in the bush for 7 days, come back with the general. That's the same thing could happen to the presidency of South Sudan. But some people, they don't get it. All in all, we thank you, those who are watching with us. I think we will stop here.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of this discussion. This is an awareness. And as we said, the issue of this new civil society for action or something like that, it is unfortunate. Yes, of course, we do know that there's a lot of things happening in South Sudan. Our people are suffering. But is it a solution that we need to hide people, to go to the street and do an uprising where the gun is, is in everybody's hand in South Sudan? We don't want to turn South Sudan into, no man's land. We needed
Somalia
where each tribe will be able to stand alone. South Sudan is still, we have a chance to establish this country back to normal as long as we stay in the track of implementing this peace agreement. That's what I said earlier. I think the government of South Sudan have to do graduating these unifying forces, because that was the agenda that took these people to war, that the Sweet arrangement was not implemented. Simon Garwaj was not happy because there was relief as the chief of staff of SPLMIO, I think, contributed that. Johnson Wayne also was not happy because it was not accepted to be the governor of Upper Nile State, so that he can come and fulfill his Hill agenda to come and rule people that he want to wipe out. I think these are contributing factors that resulted into the fraction within SPLMIO. Even though they continue to point finger into the JCE and Jiang and Jing, and this is unfortunate. As I speak, the government of President Kiir is not a government of Denga; it's a government of people of South Sudan, comprised the whole tribe. As the vice president that is actually, drawn from each region in Upper Nile State, Barkazal, with Equatoria, and the Jewish government, including the members of parliament that was sworn in. So we don't want to see our country back to war. So I just want to thank all of you. It is not in our interest to have people to go to the street and uprising. You cannot uprise in a country where we still have a true army, the SPLMIO forces, the government, and also there's another hollout group of Paul Malonga one and those of Pagana Mum and Thomas Chirilo. Everybody want to be the president of the Republic of South Sudan. Even the opposition alone, they cannot even sit down and come up with the one objective, form their own one unified opposition force. It is because of the hunger for power. Everyone want to be the CNC. Everyone want to be the commander in chief of the army. You want to be the chairman of each party. This is what we have, and it became like a routine. It became a culture in South Sudan. And I blame President Kiir about all this. President Kiir policy of appeasing everybody. President Kiir won't rule this country. It's not a fully dictator. I cannot call him a dictator because he's not actually a dictator. And he's not even a democratic leader. He won't appease, he won't be loved by everybody. But as a leader, you have to stand in your principle. You either be a dictator and make sure that you bring these people into one line, people of South Sudan. They need the law that we used to apply during the SPLA. SPLA was strong because of the tough law that he has within the rank and also to the civilian. And this is what President Kiir needs to apply in this nation. South Sudan is not ready to be led by a soft person. And I want to say one thing. Kaja jalman especially monjenga jal wo behind the key bidel jal the jil ki ek hole ko le ñu le ranang bay ko jeng ban yal wala this misal ju sana ci betok, because it's not because President Kiir era raj but no President Kiir e monjang ko ne ci ko ci dede ci monjang nga ci dede yin man because ci President Kiir era raj but because President Kiir yene monjang and therefore dile man ak nen jeng ko na to ko nim twen kwaga ting all this social media jamben ela to jing ko bana iran man jike ba ga ting da dar ela jing na michila ke da michila dar ko an no jeran du yin le jing na da michila ke ku ni wona ko ela jing na da michila kage ban ka lo tied up behind the key ko an kana ko ba ka woni yam a che behind the key ene kana mahem jing la bi behind the key kana bi gam ko bi gam na nang pe a chak ting wan luo especially Kikuyu fi Kenya. Kikuyu fi Kenya wan bika independent bita Kenya. Kikuyu njibana awal rais ta Kenya. Wana jiban jal era actual Kikuyu when Mike Kibaki Kenyatta imena ban jal ko ton bain to ran tin kan gabila tin kan fi Kenya. Wan tin ban dam da election kana. Ran when Kikuyu when Kenyatta jiban ta kana ban bo election bike cause majority someone janga cho baga ban pra jinu Sudan and jinu Sudan ket pin lakini ko ba hande ki kana bi ki bi tan ko ngende ki ci ba hanje tan ko bi tan ran mun daro ci bi amon jang bi tonen al bi tonen ran tin kan bi jonga ran kana ko bu jing na jing doesn't matter ba ya ben wal ci bi ya ben fi ñew Sudan anga ñu na time la ko chwet ku la jing ko bak chwet I believe 100% jing na bidul ban kana banya na time ba da ce banya na mishila men bany taw goro jala gëna abila liya wana la bila liya ko na ben ila kwen mana banya bila liya wan te ko be kwen banya garam ma biyor ndi bana banya mana de kirma yadit na jing ko ceng fi jinu Sudan kwa jakting ade ko jamana no wo ko kini chon no nation is rising in social media daily. I'm following this discussion ele bi jing bu no bi nam de nation betaw si bu de bi markara nang pay ko jam ni nga ko je degator these are intellectual ta nuer ko lu campaign kani no ko gabila de nuer bi de no dola betaw mana kin mon jang ji kon jam ko mon jang bi de dola betaw bida dola tabu junub Sudan ile jaman junub Sudan lazim bugdal cenga pan wodi abida nuer abida jing abida dor abida ra gabail ke junub Sudan ko tak lejo kay dai namanda ci dit di da bataw din bogen gur ade ke tin ka matin kam kayran dit ke ba matin ba dit bataw
bi da yena chin gi ba be Martin damane ci la man da ni chol dong malwal malwal ci te malwal ka tin do ba da according to what you wrote. Yeah, we queen common ko yo ko queen tu ke common ko yo ke queen ku ke ko ka pet ko ka taw ya ke disagree wo but ke ka bang ki kan da ke lwel wana gal we ke mikela du ko we jeng Padang ke lui wo ki support aja ku je lui ki support ke lwel injira ko de yaran Lagos State Lagos State ko get Lagos State I believe 99% is support ka kuma taw nyal fayen ayoka achi crime banam dek party don we support wala president to taw in west aja ku wala taw fi junu lakin ran ben nam dek support ge aja ran na ko dar ti man taw ne riek ma jare ci bay gotor pin gunam nyal ane nam ko lu support fayen a chan ngek support achi muskila yin de degal leader do nang yiting la ba lu support ko chubul le la karai ba we ko je wo bile minu wo kaji ki our own right to support whom we think and when you think de ke fa yin kan ina ki ka ba lakin ina ne state ina ko man ni ko bi kaji ki ret ku le state da kin na kira kon war mana won ina nen to ko nam liya mara ni chol kamis ko ci bedu but ke ko ka ke ga yi characters ken ade la wo ko we Padang yan ko Lagos State anong nim ko ji ko to ke pyot jeng fior king pyot ba yen kan ina kai ke ka kuma in taw nyal panden ni na pane ni lo historitin ini headquarter bita SPLM pa yen kana ache mikila yeah where up and I will support again a talk will you know how many people got in so the element can talk in work got fi Lagos State or got fi where up mungkin work Lagos State but I can't get jamu tin we all ngod ka kaiki so kana yo kachin akin mikela tin faye nin benya biala le badi taw mala ran kana be telwe common ke but all in all in ki ka ba lekin to support jar mai ne chakran
Galo ambaurete dola ye chengadio jinubi nambaurete dola ye chengadio galo ambaurete dola ye chengadio jinubi nambaurete dola ye chengadio Karadia Jawai Punya de Gitalga to Punyeti Walan, you would come with your one. Karadia Jawai Punya de Gitalga to Punyeti Baba, you would come with your one. Karadia Jawai Punya de Gitalga to Punyeti one man, you would come with your one. Galu ambao rotwe dola yeshenga dio jindu binamba rotwe dola yeshenga dio.
Thank you. Don't forget your comments are welcome. You disagree to agree. Mishila.
One in
Policy kaka bai
Bella,
kaka.
the dog, the corruption of water, come to Mantafana. Job at your moon call, which if you come at era. And it's in the war. Yelly, you come to work for the willow. Yelly, Tiranan. Galu ambarotwe dola yechenga dio Jindogi nambarotwe dola yechenga dio
Dola je chenga tang bai. Ina ke fanan wala juot dola je chenga de.
Bang to ga chano me en chadama chapopo Sirangen ye Sudan ne ranchol ye Sudan ranchol ye Sudan Bang to ga chano me en chadama chapopo Sirangen ye Sudan ne ranchol ye Sudan ranchol ye Sudan What can get along to you? Get younger yankin. Give a lena cookie. Abu dining way. Yerbana in a go. Was rum and manwa. You there won't talk to you. Get from a rotana to you. Get from a rotana. What can I belong to you? Get younger yankin. Give a lena cookie. Abu dining when. Yerbana. When a young lale joge, when a young lale, when a young lale,
Thank you very much. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for being part of Jing Padang Media. Which you late, quite a die. Wag your touch pial, wag your pial, got to the channel cake.